Our guest tonight is Patricia Wenskunas. In the aftermath of being a crime victim, she founded and now leads Crime Survivors. In the first segment, we heard about how her crime against her has really inspired her to help other victims of crime. And we also touched a little bit about how she's had to go back and work with some of the very same agencies that perhaps you had some difficulties with in your situation. And in one of those ways, you're now actually going to all the different police agencies and helping to provide for them victim emergency bags.
Yes, we are. It's the victim emergency bags have actually come into play, and these are the bags. They've come into play because what would have helped myself and my son the first 24 hours of being a victim of a crime? We stayed in a hotel for about 5 days, and
why was that?
Because as a single mother, I didn't have any family out here in California. It was just myself and my son, and I could have went back to the home, but the post-traumatic stress disorder, the depression, all of that stuff, I just could not face going back to my home where I was attacked. And so I could have stayed at friends. I did stay at friends for one night, but it just was feeling very uncomfortable. So we stayed in a hotel, and I thought, what would have really empowered the officer, but what would have empowered myself and my son, and being able to give us everything that we need. And it's a little bit more personal. It's more than just a brochure. It's more than a card. Some of the items that are inside the bags, could have we went to the store and got them? We could have, and we did in our circumstance. But what would have really made it a little bit easier, especially being black and blue and being not in your right mind, a bag that could have now empowered the officers or the deputies. They give us the bag and they get back to doing their job, collecting the evidence, making an arrest, making sure they have a case. And then we go and we take our information and things in the bags, like the child bag. It has a blanket, it has a stuffed animal, it has crayons, it has a coloring book and what's happening in court, toothpaste and toothbrush, playing cards. So whether they're whether they're on the side of the road, whether you're in the hospital, whether you're at the police department, wherever you're at, the child has things inside the bags that can really help them and keep them active as well. And then the adult bags, things like the toothpaste and toothbrush, a journal and a pen, an emergency phone card, so that especially domestic violence, they leave their house without a cell phone, so they can make phone calls wherever is needed. It has lotion for a lot of the bruising. It has the chapstick. I remember just because the guy wrapped saran wrap around my head trying to suffocate me to death with a towel, I remember my lips being so chapped, and because of the crying. So it has chapstick inside the bag. It has tissue inside there as well.
And how well have you done as far as being able to get these out to the various police and sheriff's departments?
It's amazing to see the police departments and the sheriff's departments distribute these bags. We have over 18 law enforcement agencies, including the Orange County Sheriff's Department here in Orange County. We are expanding the program a great deal. Actually, the Sheriff's Department had given out already 400 of them since 2007, and we just dropped off another 400 of them this past Friday to them. So that's the one thing, one of our large programs that we're really trying to raise money for, to be able to get these into all of the cars. Sheriff Baca in Los Angeles wants the bags, so we're trying to find funding to get those in those cars.
Yeah, and you're talking about the economy. It not only hurts you guys, but sheriff's departments and police departments, they're just trying to keep the guys and gals on the force themselves, not these extra sort of things.
Absolutely. So that's why our organization goes out and raises the funds, raise the money through our events, through our programs, private donors, private foundations that will give us the money in order to put these bags together, get those materials out there to them so that the law enforcement don't have to worry about paying for them.
Kind of alluded to it earlier. I mean, you obviously had some difficulty going through the system, and yet now these are the people you've got to go back and work with to try to get help. Talk a little bit about the relationship. Like you said before, that they finally realized you're not going to go away, but I mean, I suspected there was some little diplomacy involved in this whole process too.
I think so, and I think there still may be, but it hasn't stopped me or our organization. And I think, and I can't take all the credit for this, but I have seen such a difference with the impact within law enforcement, within other agencies that have changed their programs, have changed their policies, that have really stepped up to the plate. And I've talked to some people that in law enforcement that were directly in my case that have applauded our organization and thanked us because I've had chiefs say, Patricia, if you didn't talk about it, if you don't say, how do you make change? How do you improve a system if nobody says anything? Mm-hmm. So I've seen some incredible changes. I applaud a lot of the agencies that I worked with just as a victim myself, but now that I work with as a survivor and as a founder of an organization, I applaud them because they have made a huge impact in the community and they are doing such great work out there.
Mm-hmm. The bags here in this case and the major crime that was committed against you, those are the sorts of things we most commonly think about in terms of victims. But you also alluded to the fact that you were a victim before, and there are many other people who are living as victims as well. Talk about how your organization works with them.
Well, there is, and we want to stop the cycle of victimization. We want victims to know that, to kind of get past that stigma of people thinking, well, she was raped, she must have had a short skirt on, or she must have had too much makeup on. Or people say to me, well, Patricia, why was he in your house? What were you having him in your house for? Well, what difference does it make? Does that mean he should kill me? What difference does it make? I mean, you hear about a young boy that was killed in a parking lot someplace, and the first response is, well, was he in a bad neighborhood? And we want to call attention to people to let people know no matter what the situation is, no one deserves to be victimized. And a victim doesn't wake up in the morning saying, I think I'll be a victim today. But a criminal does wake up with the intent to find its next victim. And so we don't know what victims look like. We don't know what criminals look like. They live next door to us. They eat with us. They're in restaurants with us. So people may not know because some people may not have victim on their forehead, like I did, which I believed gave this sociopath predator a way to come in and re-victimize me. So it's really just working with them, getting counseling, getting therapy, getting support.
Very good. When we come back, we will once again find out how you can help this organization help other crime survivors. Don't go away.